This year's all-singing and all-dancing musical extravaganza promises to be bigger and better than ever. Naomi and this year's new judge John Modi travelled all over the country in their quest to bring you the best Glee clubs Britain has to offer.
We are living in a material world.
Their journey started in Newcastle, where they checked out the North East's performing talent.
I'm on the right track, baby, I'm as fun.
So let's meet the people who will be deciding the fate of our groups and some very special guests.
Carrie and David are two of the UK's best-known celebrity vocal coaches.
That was really good. I love your energy.
Breathtaking.
They've worked with a whole host of pop artists from the Spice Girls and Take That to the Saturdays. Celebrity vocal and performance coach John has worked with a variety of stars from Leona Lewis to Ollie Murs and Alexandra Burke. He's also worked behind the scenes on top shows like The Voice and X Factor. Offering additional advice to the groups will be West End star and X Factor winner Joe McElderry. He's recorded 4 albums and his debut single, The Climb, topped the UK chart.
Right, we have 8 Glee clubs to see in this show, so let's meet the first group.
Everything that could go wrong all went wrong at one time. So much pressure fell on me. I thought I was gonna lose my mind, but I know you wanna see if I can hold on to these times. But I need you to lift this love, 'cause I can't take it no more. Shackles on my feet so I can dance. I just wanna praise you. I just wanna praise you. You broke the chain, now I get in my hands. And I'm gonna praise you. I'm gonna praise you. Through the fire and the rain, down in every kind of way. The God is broken every
Go on, Aisha.
chain.
Find that voice.
Right now. The shackles on my feet so I can dance. I just wanna praise you. I just wanna praise you. Roll the chains, now I get in my hands. And I'm gonna praise you. I'm gonna praise you. Shackles on my feet so I can dance. I just wanna praise you. I just wanna praise you. Roll the chains, now I get in my hands. And I'm gonna praise you. I'm gonna praise you. Yeah.
That is probably one of the hardest songs to cover and cover well. You guys absolutely nailed it. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant.
You have really strong solo singers. And what's your name, young lady?
Aisha.
Aisha, you just reminded me of Mary J. Blige, Aisha. You've got an outstanding voice, and you've got good voices in there, and you've got great dance energy, and there's a real unity. It was fantastic.
Thank you.
That was a really slick performance, and you had the right balance between the choreography and the singing. It didn't affect... It was very entertaining to watch the choreography, but it didn't affect the vocals. Your solo part was incredible.
Thank you.
Like, ridiculous. How old are you?
Oh, wait, 15. 16.
16. That's scary. That was really... It was a brilliant performance. Well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Your voice held out, did it?
Yeah.
Yay! Compared to Mary J. Blige. High praise indeed. What do you think about that?
Amazing.
Oh, you're so croaky.
Yeah.
My goodness, if that's you on a bad day, wow.
She really was a young Mary, that voice.
She really sounds like Mary J. Blige.
Yeah.
I'm gonna praise you. Yeah.
Next up we have Encore, and they're from Harrogate. I was in 2 minds about these guys, but I thought I want to put them through just to be sure, because I see some potential in them. See what you guys think.
So what are you going to think about just before you do this performance? Is there anything you're worrying about, or any bits that you think, oh no, that might go wrong, or is it all...
I'm sure we're all a bit nervous, but we're just going to enjoy it and have fun and do the best we can.
Yeah, that sounds like a very good idea. volume, haven't they, when they go for it?
In the shadow is in me, you see, 'cause all that's left is you and I. And I'm picking up the pieces she left behind.
What did you think?
Yeah, and they did really, really well. I mean, we've rehearsed it over and over and over again. I hope not too much so that they're not bored of it, but yeah, they did quite well.
I really enjoyed your performance, and I'm challenged by it as well, because it feels to me that you are a dancing school who do some singing. I think if you do get through to the next round, we've got to hear more vocals.
Okay.
Having half of you singing and half of you dancing for the first 2/3 of the song, it shouldn't work. But I think you might have pulled it off, because when you all come together for that final third, suddenly it's like, whoa, here's the energy, here's the attitude, here's the attack. I want to see more of that.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm not disappointed that actually I brought you back. There's something about you guys. I think if you take some of the advice and pull together and put some emphasis on the vocal and work on that, I think you could really be a dark horse.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed the dynamic of having the kind of singing on the outside and the dancing in the middle at the start. And the vocals were good, but I think you need to balance the intensity of the dancing with the singing, so that it kind of matches, because it was kind of, there was so much dancing that it distracted a tiny bit from the singing. But when you were singing, it was great, so push it more and make it a lot more powerful and louder.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, they didn't squeal as they went out the door.
Oh, yeah, bless.
Was I too hard?
No.
Now, they said a few things to you about perhaps there being a bit much dancing. What did you make of those comments?
Fair. Yeah.
Definitely.
We did take a risk with the dancing because we've got a lot of it, and
Well, I guess if you're strong dancers, you want to show that off, so...
But we have a lot of strong singers as well,
Yes.
so I definitely think we can pull that through.
We could see so much more than we've seen.
Yeah, they could be
Actually, the best dancers
Yeah.
out of anybody.
Yeah, technically, yeah. There's like arabesques and beautiful ballet. and really nice
so if you
stuff.
put that together with the singing, if they work on that, it's...
Their image is good, everything about them, the way they... Yeah, they're confident. I still like them. I like them. I'm glad.
It could be one of those that are a dark horse that you go, let's put them through and just see if they,
Let's see if they
take
take
the advice.
Yeah, exactly.
She left behind. Lost in the song.
Right, next up, it's Resonate. I first saw these guys in London, and they came all the way up from the Isle of Wight. They're doing a song that, well, I like, but also I like the version they've done, and there's something about them, again, very Glee-esque. I liked it. That's quite special. I like that.
It's over and done, but the heartache lives on inside. Yeah, yeah. And who is the one you're clinging to instead of me tonight? And where are you now? Now that I need you, tears on my pillow wherever you go. Cry me a river that leads to your ocean. You'll never see me fall apart. In the words of the broken heart, it's just emotion taking me over. Caught up in sorrow, lost in the song. But if you don't come back to me, darling. Don't you know there's nobody left in this world to hold me tight? Don't you know there's nobody left in this world to kiss goodnight?
Well done, firstly. That was so... the vocals were really soothing and smooth. Like, I could have sat and listened to that sound all day. very angelic. One slight criticism, I feel like there was maybe a tiny bit too much choreography, and it was a bit distracting from how beautiful the sound was. But other than that, it sounded brilliant, and that's, you know, essentially that's what it should be about, the vocals. So well done.
Thank you.
I absolutely love that song, and the good news is I still love it. So I think for you guys, from what I've seen as well, you are singers first. And I think the choreography actually prevented you from engaging and telling the story. See, and that, because you're thinking of your moves, you kind of get distracted, and that's what I would say as well. Just focus on what you're really good at and try and be minimalistic in the other areas.
You could drop all your choreography as far as I'm concerned. I felt that that compromised the beautiful faces that were there from time to time, and then you'd forget to do the face thing. You'd forget the inner life because you're so busy trying to think, am I stepping to the right, am I stepping to the left? Drop a lot of that. Keep, the vocals are beautiful. The inner life is beautiful. Those are the key elements of performance that you as a group need to bring forth.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
I didn't like that one, though.
That
Let's
one.
do it, yeah. Let's do it.
Oh, no, you got from that end,
Okay.
ready.
I'm taking it.
You,
What's this?
you don't notice anything. You're so busy listening to singing.
Yeah.
So here's a quick reminder of the Glee clubs that performed for the judges on today's show. MAD from London. Triple Threat from Falkirk.
And watching some good friends screaming, let me out.
The Sweets from Essex.
Boy, I love you so. She said I love you, babe. Oh, 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 oh. By your side.
Encore from Harrogate.
In the shadow is the music. I'll always get by.
Flybeat from London.
I cool down when something gets in my way. I go round it. Caught up in
Resonate from the Isle of Wight.
lost in the song.
Blue Note from County Durham.
Learn lines. We come together every time. Don't hurt me.
And finally, Braveheart from Motherwell.
These wings are made to fly.
So, the 5 Glee clubs going through to the studio heats are The Sweets, Resonate, MAD, Braveheart, and finally, Encore.
So there you have it. The first 5 groups have made it through to the studio heats and one step closer to the last step. Right, we have 8 Glee clubs to see in this show, so let's meet the first group.
Don't stop moving to the funky, funky beats. Don't stop moving to the funky, funky beats. DJ got the party started, there's no one in sight. Everybody's moving to the rhythm that's inside. It's a crazy world tonight, the right situation. Don't get
actual vocal sounds together is really good. It's almost like you sound like you've sung together for a long time, and that really works. That's one of your big strengths.
Your timing is a bit of an issue in places. You're rushing a bit. Some tuning issues in the harmony, but as a group, that sound that you produce is really unmatched, and the energy that you give off, you just put a smile on my face, and I know that's the effect you have.
I agree.
Song choice was great, and the dance routines, the vocals, everything just matched really well. Well done.
Thank you.
Hey, you happy? So much fun. You really enjoyed it?
Yeah.
What was the best thing about that?
She said the harmonies were good.
And what did you think about when they told you that you might need to slow down at points?
That's strong. Because I felt like some parts like we were going off the music a bit because like.
Did you hear it happening as you were doing it?
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Just with all constructive criticism.
Exactly. So you're going to take that away and work on it?
Yeah.
Actually, their timing was off even the first day I saw them.
Yeah.
And they haven't changed that.
So much energy though. The question is, are they ready?
They're very young. I've noticed that, and even watching them today, they're very young. But I haven't seen anything like them.
Yeah, I think that is the appeal.
I haven't seen anything like them. And their blend is great.
It is.
When it's
I
together.
really like the blend.
Like it.
Don't stop looking to the funky, funky beats. Hold me like the river Jordan, and I will then say to thee, you are my friend. Carry me like you are my brother. Love me like a mother. Will you be there? Everyone's taking control of me. Seems that the world's got a role for me. I'm so confused what you showed to me. You'll be there for me.
They're giving you some.
Hold me, show me, only to me. Something that hold me, carry me there. Kiss me and free me. I will feel blessed. Will you be there?
I've never seen someone look so nervous.
Bless them, they've all got little red cheeks, haven't they?
Yeah.
The way you started that performance was really unique and different to anything we've seen today. You know, and I think for me personally, as soon as it started, I was interested to see where it was going to go. You were kind of, it was like you were welcoming all your friends on stage to perform, which was really good because it makes you kind of like strong as a unit. And so I was interested to see what you're going to do.
I did see glimpses throughout of total performance and brilliance, potentially. The one thing I'd have to say, just some advice as well, is that it has to be consistent. You have to stay engaged throughout the performance. The first half was much stronger than the second. I don't know what happened in the second half for me. You kind of lost that energy, but I still see there's potential for you guys to function as a unit and be very, very, very powerful.
I think what showed, particularly in the way that you began this, is that you have strengths and you have an identity. What you didn't do was play to your strengths throughout. The first half was really good. What I think happened in the second half is there are two key changes. By the time it gets to the end, it's gone out of a part of your voice where all of you are strong. So there's a change of sound. When you're in your comfort zone, in the bit where you all work together, the sound is beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
What do you think about what the judges said? Because they all pretty much said first half great, second half
Well,
we need to work on second half. Do you think that was a fair comment?
Yeah. We just need to keep.
And did you enjoy it?
Yeah. I really enjoyed it.
Was it like standing on that stage?
There was one girl in there who didn't have a solo, whose voice was the key that locked the whole blend together. And if that's your role, that's as important a role as the soloist.
Yeah.
Everybody has to have a solo.
It was clever the way they did it, though.
Oh,
It was really clever.
Like what you said for Michael Jackson, so
Yeah.
the way they started, it was kind of
Yeah.
operatic.
Yeah.
With a bit of ballet in there. Love it.
It's the angelic voices, that kind of choir. So.
Very brave.
Will you be there?
Joyful, joyful Lord, we adore thee. God of glory, Lord of love. Giver of the immortal gladness. Fill us with the light of day. Joyful, joyful Lord, God of glory, Lord of God. Awesome, full like flowers before Him. Hail me as the Son of God. Death and mountain sings in its sadness. Drive the dark of doubt away. Rock away, giver of immortal gladness. What have you done for him lately? Ooh, yeah. What have you done for him lately? He watches over everything, so we sing this with the light of day, light of day.
How do you think that went?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I think that the harmonies were bang on, and yeah, they did all right.
Guys, I really, really enjoyed that. I love that song, so you won me over straight away. Everything was really natural, which I think shows a huge sign of how well rehearsed you clearly were. Your solo part was beautiful, absolutely brilliant. I can't believe a voice like that comes out of somebody so little. It was incredible. And all of the vocals together were really slick, and I think it was a great performance. Well done.
I think vocally, as a unison, the blend is fantastic. And like the song Joyful, Joyful, I feel joyful, joyful when I watch you guys.
Not just our first soloist, but actually the other two soloists as well. Absolutely brilliant vocals. The ensemble was beautiful. I've got one little word of advice, which is you all look really different. You're all different ages, which is great. I kind of would like to see some uniformity somewhere in what you're wearing. That's my only negative comment. Rest of it, perfect.
Thanks. They made some lovely comments, didn't they?
Yeah.
What did you think of what they said to you?
It was just amazing.
Absolutely brilliant. You all deserve a nice relax after that, so go and rest up. Well done.
Thank you.
Good work.
All really good voices.
The harmonies were strong.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys. I also felt that there was more people singing than what actually were singing when they sang together.
Yeah.
It was just full.
It was a perfect for that kind of, to showcase it. It's an ideal song choice to showcase how strong they can be.
Which of the judges are you most looking forward to seeing?
Some nights I stay up, cashing in my bad luck. Some nights I call it a draw. Some nights I wish that my lips could build a castle. Some nights I wish they just fall off. But I still wake up, I still see your ghost. Oh Lord, I'm still not sure.
makes nice comments, otherwise they're going to be crushed, aren't they? Because they love him.
A little face they look a bit scared.
No.
The sound together is brilliant. Sounds really beautiful, full of energy, but just lift the facial expressions, the movement. Have a bit more conviction to match the sound of your voices, because it's beautiful. You've got nothing to be shy about.
I love your sound. You have a beautiful African sound, and the harmonies, the choice of harmonies, the way you're singing the harmonies, they're punchy, they're beautiful, great sound. What I'd love to see is that matched in the way you're expressing yourself facially and in the choreography. It feels like punchy vocals and just slightly apathetic moving. So that needs to come up some.
I love the mixture and the diversity. You have the different heights, the different sizes, the different types, the different looks, and it all works together. You're a proper Glee club, and you work as a unit vocally. That opening was absolutely fantastic. It was spot on.
I think your sound is unique. Your vocal blend as a group is very tight. The ensemble is uplifting. So it's sort of like, it's almost like it just, even if you're not trying, the sound actually sounds like it's coming from the heart. It's quite an amazing thing.
Joe McElderry spoke to you. Joe spoke to you. What did he say? What did he say? Are you happy with what he said?
Yeah.
Go shake off the shyness, girls. So do you think if you got to come back, you think you have got that energy you can give?
Yeah.
You think there is more from Diva 8 that we could see?
Yeah.
Well, let's hope you get to come back, eh? Fingers crossed. Well done.
I love their ensemble sound.
Yeah.
It's a very African sound, actually, but for me, they just weren't punchy physically to watch.
I think it's confidence as well. You could see some of them are a bit like, oh, don't know whether I can do that, you know.
Yeah.
If they can lift it a bit, I think it could be really, really good.
The ensemble's powerful together, and then the solos individually kind of could be a bit more.
Sunrise.
Here's a quick reminder of the Glee clubs that have performed today. Accelerate from Stockport.
We are young.
Fresh from Glasgow.
Don't stop moving. Can you feel the music? Feelings that is going round, round. Don't stop.
Impact from Brighton.
You are perfect to me. You're perfect to me. It's perfect.
True to your school from Doncaster.
And I will then say to thee, you are my friend.
Musicality from Port Talbot.
Joyful Lord, we adore thee. God of glory, Lord of God.
New creation from Preston.
Get up the place, and you cry.
Sixth string from Milton Keynes.
I'll be there.
And Diva 8 from London.
Nights I'm scared you'll forget me again. Some nights I always win. Some nights.
Clubs going through to the studio heats are Musicality, Diva 8, Impact, Accelerate, and finally, New Creation.
So, another 5 acts have made it into the next round and are one step closer to the live shows. This is the third and final judges' audition show. Today we're going to see 8 of the last groups performing for the judges, all hoping they've got what it takes to become the Comic Relief Does Glee Club of 2013.
Up next, we've got Bittersweet, who really impressed me when I first saw them in Glasgow. They were really polished and committed to their performance.
Hello! Hello! How are we doing today?
Yeah, we're good.
Show me these. Now I hear... Oh, is that you?
Yeah.
Ah, they're amazing. They've all got your faces on them.
Yeah.
Material girls. We're in the zone. In the zone. Good luck. Good job.
They had great fun.
Bittersweet, wow, fantastic. I really loved that performance. I loved the choreography. I thought you were really original. I love the vocals. The dip, 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 dip. I'm going to be singing that for days now. Brilliant. You are absolutely a Glee club.
Thank you.
What makes you guys a Glee club and what makes you excellent at it is that you bring the third element to it. The singing was really very, very good. The choreography was fantastic. It was sharp, but you acted as well. You performed. It was like watching a little mini performance from a musical. It was really very, very good. The only complaint I have is that you didn't bring a magazine with my face on the cover.
Oh, we'll make you one.
Okay, I'll hold you to that.
We'll mail it in the post.
I thought it was brilliant. You know, the one thing about when you're performing is when you're having fun, the people that are watching you around instantly feel that kind of relaxation, and because you're having fun. You guys look like you're having the time of your life up there. It reminded us of something from, like, Legally Blonde, that kind of, you know, femininity and, like, girl power. It's brilliant.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's good.
We're all going to be doing this now. We really liked your performance.
You girls were great. How much fun was that?
Amazeballs.
You really did enjoy yourselves, didn't you?
Yeah.
So if you were to go through to the next round, will you make David a magazine? Yeah. And Carrie and John,
Keep our
Leo and everybody else.
All of you and everyone.
Excellent. And me?
Yeah.
You know what, that to me is what a Glee club is all about, actually.
Yeah.
They've given it a theatrical performance. They've thought about a show.
Professional, slick, polished,
Yes.
engaging,
The theme,
animated.
the themes
It's good.
From the minute the music starts, they were, like, in
Yeah,
it.
really
in
engaged.
complete character.
No weak ones.
And that's the thing about the acting, isn't it? They didn't come out of character at all throughout the whole thing.
Syria, oh, material world.
How are you feeling today? Exhilarated. Have you ever done anything this big before?
No.
Have you ever been in a television studio?
No.
So if it goes wrong today, who are you going to blame it on?
My baby's always insisting it wouldn't be a bad thing that I don't get no loving, and that's no lie. We spent the night in Frisco at every kind of disco. From that night I kissed my love goodbye. Don't blame it on sunshine, don't blame it on the moonlight, don't blame it on the good times, blame it on the boogie. Don't blame it on sunshine, don't blame it on the moonlight, don't blame it on the good times, blame it on the boogie. I just can't control my feet. 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 Sunshine, moonlight, good times, boogie. You just got that sunshine, yeah, moonlight, good times, boogie. Don't blame it on sunshine. You just gotta, you just wanna, yeah. Oh, blame it on the sunshine. Ain't nobody's fault when you got that boogie all night long. Don't blame it on sunshine.
Yeah. Happy with that?
Yes. Performing when you're dancing at that level and singing is going to be really difficult to get the two things together. But you did really, really well. Vast amounts of energy, and I love the energy. My one little comment would be, for your soloist, I think you need to dance less so that we really get that tuning pitch perfect. But apart from that, fantastic performance.
Thank you.
There was high energy and a lot of movement, a lot of choreography, maybe a little bit too much, and it did affect your singing. But overall, there's an infectious energy about you that I really like.
I thought it was fantastic. It just made me smile from beginning to end. And your two eye contact with when there's just 4 people in a room, it's quite difficult to perform and hold the eye contact. And you got, well, everybody did, but you two, I couldn't take my eyes off you two, so well done. It was a brilliant performance.
Big sigh of relief. You're all sweating. You obviously put in a lot of energy. How did it go?
It went really well. We put all of our effort into it, so hopefully it paid off.
Are you at all worried? Because they did say that some of the soloists were perhaps dancing a little bit too much. You took a solo. What did you think of that?
It's just a good thing, really, for me, because then we just all know what we need to do and what we need to work on to make it even better the next time we do it.
That's a great way of thinking about it. Well done.
Oh, blame it on sunshine.
Right, next up we have Figure of 8 from Chelmsford, and some of them you may recognize from both series 1 and 2.
Okay.
Great, thank you very much. And relax. How do you think you did? Good. Yeah, that's what I like to hear.
How are you feeling today? Looking forward to this?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And with your song, there is a lot of emotion in it. How do you sort of get motivated to prepare to perform this song?
We just try to enjoy ourselves, really, and just make sure that what we're feeling is getting portrayed on stage.
Breath, any group thing you need to do before you go in? Have a little high five or whatever? Figure of 8, nice.
I know there's pain. Why do you lock yourself up in these chains? No one can change your life except for you. Don't ever let anyone step all over you. Just open your heart and your mind. Is it really fair to feel this way inside? Whoa. Someday somebody's gonna make you wanna turn around and say goodbye. Till then, baby, are you gonna let them hold you down and make you cry? Don't you know, things will change, things will go your way if you hold on for one more day. If you hold on for one more day, things will go your way. Hold on for one more day. Someday somebody's gonna make you wanna turn around and say goodbye. Say goodbye. Till then, baby, are you gonna let him hold you down and make you cry? Don't you know, things will change, things will go your way if you hold on for one more day. If you hold on.
You have a really good ensemble sound. You are absolutely what a Glee club are. My question to you is, why did you not choose a more complex song? With such strong singers, such ability to do good harmonies, I'd like to have heard more layering, more complexity, because I think you're capable of more. It makes me want to ask the question, are you confident enough?
I think we're all really confident in all of our abilities. We were all thinking that if we did get through, that we were going to show you the more complex harmonies, because we are capable of doing that. But we thought we'd do the first round just simple and just show you, you know, what we can
stick
do.
to the safe stuff.
That's a nice enough comment, isn't it?
Yeah, that's constructive.
You sang a really rhythmic song that requires real tightness, and if one of you's out, it really shows. And none of you were out. You were really, really locked, really together. Your timing and your rhythm was fantastic.
Yeah, guys, I liked you from the beginning. I liked you because you sing and perform as a unit. I think you're strong vocally. I think your faces are very animated and engaging, and that's really what a performance is about as well, because you can sing well and have absolutely no expression on your face and you lose your audience. I think whatever we throw at you, you guys will deliver well.
They said nice comments, didn't they? Are you happy with that?
Yeah.
Yes, so happy.
I think it was like really special because last year the main things they said we needed to work on were gelling as a group, and they mentioned something about our rhythm being out, which were the two things they just mentioned as being really, really good.
So you've solved those problems?
Yeah, we've definitely improved.
Now you've just got to make it more complicated.
I'd be interested to see if they do have strong soloists.
Yeah, I think they're in there. I think they just played it safe. It's what they said. It just felt a little bit safe. They've also got a couple of people who aren't giving anything facially.
And you've got the front ones who are giving so much that it makes the back ones look like.
Yeah.
Is it too safe for them to get through? That's the thing.
Domino performed with full-on energy, and Figure of Eight showed the judges what a Glee club truly is. But did they play it too safe? Next, the final two groups take to the stage. Will Great Expectations and LS8 do enough to earn a place in the...
Right, next up we have LS8 from Leeds, and I think you guys might enjoy this. Very theatrical, very unusual, and I chose them and brought them back for that reason.
Let's do the time warp again.
So you've got a big character part in this. How do you prepare yourself for that?
You have to get like really creepy, so you have to get into weird positions.
So is that what your leader told you, to be all creepy and weird?
Yeah.
All of you have got to be creepy and weird?
Yeah.
They do creepy and weird very well.
They are creepy and weird kids. No, they're not.
It's astounding. Time is fleeting. Madness takes its toll. But listen closely. Not for very much longer. I've got to keep control. It's just a jump to the left. And then a step to the right. Put your hands on your hips. And then release in time. And it's a pelvic thrust. Really drives you insane. Let's do the time again.
Perfect.
Let's do the time again. Well, I was walking down the street just having a think when a snake in the eye gave me an evil wink. He shook me up, took me by surprise. He had a pickup truck and no devil's eyes. Stared at me and I felt the change. Time and nothing ever would again. Let's do the time again. Let's do the time again.
Happy with that one?
Really happy. I'm always happy with them.
Well, for me, that was AAA star with knobs on. Do you know, on Glee Club, we have never mentioned speak singing before. That was one of the best performances of speak singing I've ever heard. Fantastic. Everyone on that stage performing at 150%, no weak links. I loved it. I am thoroughly entertained.
Thank
you.
I normally hate it when young people do that song because you've got to be completely over the top and totally unself-conscious. And at your age, most people aren't. But you guys were, and you, John, were brilliantly demented leading it there. And the rest of you matched him. You were terrifyingly brilliant.
Thank you.
I was breathing for you there. I was out of breath for you. And you're not even out of breath. That's incredible. And the vocals as well, for how much dancing you were doing, you could hardly tell that you were even dancing. There was no shakes or bumps or anything.
Thank you. Well done.
Thank you. How do you feel about being called demented?
The first time I've heard it, it was great because I was meant to be demented.
Have a little celebration. You deserve it. Well done. I want to join in. Let's do time. I'm just going to keep doing. Let's do time. Yeah.
They were brilliant. They were fantastic.
On the edge of my seat. Like, I was like, it made you want to stand up and dance. That's what it's all about, the Glee Club, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, totally. If I knew the routine, I'd have been up there with them.
Here's a quick reminder of the Glee clubs that have performed today. The Peppermints from Hartlepool. Activate from Coatbridge.
Let's go dancing in the moonlight. Take me down like I'm down below.
All Sorts from Milton Keynes. Bittersweet from Glasgow.
'Cause we are living in a material world, and I am a material girl. You know.
Domino from London.
Blame it on sunshine. Don't blame it on the moonlight. Don't blame it on the good times. Blame it on the boogie.
Figure of 8 from Chelmsford.
Someday somebody's gonna make you wanna turn around and say goodbye.
Great Expectations from North Yorkshire.
Blind kid sure plays a mean pinball.
And LS8 from Leeds.
OK, so the last of our groups have now performed, but remember there are only 5 places left in the studio heat.
The 5 Glee clubs going through to the studio heats are Figure of 8, The Peppermints, Bittersweet, LS8, and finally, All Sorts.
So we now have our final 5 acts who've made it to the studio heat and are one step closer to the live shows.